It is July 28th of 2025. I'm putting the dates in here so that I can track when my healing journey, when these little aha moments come in. And this morning one really hit me, and it was something that I had a seed planted on Saturday. And what it has to do with is the fact that I don't have a job, and that is by choice. Basically, last year, if you haven't listened to the podcast, I ended up quitting my job because I had a mental breakdown and was burnt out and was just honestly like a miserable person. And I knew that I needed to take some time to myself and regroup and regulate my nervous system and just get back to like a healthier place, like mentally, spiritually, physically, all the things. And now that I'm coming up on a year, I'm starting to get those questions from my parents of like, when are you going to get a job? Or, are you looking? Da 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 da. And I get it, because I know that half of it, they want us to be financially stable. They want us to be set up for the future. So like, I get that part. However, based on kind of the messaging and what they're saying and the tone in which they're saying it, I know that there's also something underneath all of it, their commentary. And what I realized is how much kind of pressure I feel to represent my parents in a positive way. And really, it started from when I started my freelance business and I grew it to 6 figures within the first year. And the messaging around that was, Josie, we're so proud of you, and it's amazing that in your early 20s you have a successful business that you started on your own. And there was a lot of pride around it. And what I kind of realized this morning is I think that pride a little bit has to do with bragging rights. And in addition to what they make me and my brother having a job mean about them. And I was talking to my mom about it, and basically I was like, I'm still figuring stuff out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I have an inner knowing that I want to make money, yada, yada, yada. But when I was bringing that up, I saw kind of a shift in my mom's body language. And what ended up coming out is she was basically saying, the people who won't go out and get a job, they're lazy. And I know that laziness is very triggering to my parents because they've always prided themselves, and me and my brother, on being hard workers and taking initiative in life and all. Actually, no, that second one is not true. But they have so much pride around being a successful worker and being a, contributing citizen, that sort of stuff, because, they worked 2 jobs growing up, and they, were always trying to do like the next thing or get more money or yada, yada, yada. And they did it because we played competitive soccer. So it was like, some extra cash was good because competitive soccer was expensive. But back to the bragging rights as well. Me and my brother, we weren't angels growing up. And there was a lot of judgment around that, especially by other people's parents. And I think a lot of them were betting on me and my brother not being successful and thinking that, we were going to be fuck up sort of thing. And so when I found my success at such a young age, they, I think, wanted to, it was almost like they wanted to prove them wrong. And so they really placed a lot of their parental success on my success. And so now that when I decided that I no longer valued money like I used to, or valued being a hard worker and having to prove that, because I know deep down I am a hard worker. When I'm in it, I'm fucking in it. But because there's not anything physical or tangible, and there's not that, monetary payoff, or being able to say that, yeah, I was successful, I think it really, I don't know, kills them inside that I decided that that was no longer the path that I wanted to take. Where I'm struggling with is trying to navigate the reactions of others based on my actions. And obviously I know to the core, it's, we're not responsible for how other people react. But I feel like the dynamic with my parents, I do want to be successful so that they can, relax their shoulders or feel good about their parenting. But I feel like there's so much pressure on me to be successful on their behalf. And my definition of success and abundance and being rich is completely different than how they would describe those characteristics. So, this is day one of really trying to let go of the fact that it's my responsibility to represent my parents in a positive way, in a way that they can kind of brag to their friends, because I've been around when they've done it. And I don't think they're doing it from an ego way, but I think it stems from the fact that they felt judged by other parents, that this is their way of proving everyone wrong. And I'm just not down for it. I don't care to be a huge success story. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for happiness. I'm going for joy. And if that means that I'm making $2 an hour, but I'm the happiest I've ever been, that's worth it to me. But, I think they would disagree. So it's day one. I'm going to bring it into my coaching session, see what's underneath it, because it's not all my parents. There's also, I'm making things mean things about myself, their opinions. I'm still internalizing. I'm still having a little bit of that self-doubt of when they say comments like, oh, people who don't get jobs are lazy. I kind of reflect and I'm like, oh shit, am I lazy? And luckily I'm able to pull myself out of it. But it's been really interesting this morning when I started kind of putting everything together, my feelings, and then, what I observed their feelings as. So I'll keep you guys updated. But navigating parents, man, it's an interesting experience, but I do have a fantastic relationship with my parents. It is very open, and we're able to share stuff with each other. But sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not the reaction, or that's not the commentary that I'm looking for and or would appreciate. So love you, Mom and Dad, but this is something I'm gonna be working on.